Yeah, so I'm still unpacking stuff and stuff. So I realized that I was like, I want friends. I don't have any friends. I want friends. I want my person. I'm tired of being by myself. I realized that I am unprepared to physically have relationships, like to have a physical relationship, like have physical relationships. And it's funny because when people hear the word physical, they think sexual. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a physical friendship. I'm talking about a physical partner, a physical, my person physically coming in. I'm talking about that. It's like, oh shit, I am not quite prepared for this. I thought, and it's like, I'm not sure what I thought, you know, because I've been in relationships before. I've stumbled into relationships before, and it never fit. It wasn't a fit. So it's like having the friend that I got into the argument with, he's a fit. He's like, if he leaves, there's going to be a hole. There's going to be a loss. Like my ex left. My ex got thrown out actually because he refused to leave my house. But I digress. Anyway, so when he left, it was like a celebration. It was like a joy. It was like, oh, do. Like when fucking Wicked Witch got hit by the fucking house, and the little fucking what are they called again? No, they're not. Whatever. They started celebrating. You understand? The Lollipop Guild started like celebrating and shit. That's how it was when he left. You know, and that's not what this argument did. It's not like I'm not happy. Like I'm not happy about it. It's like if I lose him as a friend, it's going to be a loss. And I've never been around people like that before. I've always been around people that if I cut you off, I don't need you to stay. Like, I don't really need you. I don't really want you here anyway. That's not the case with the new people coming in. The new people coming in, it's just like when you leave, it's going to be bad. If you leave, it's going to be bad. And it's like there's a part of me that's not prepared for that. It's not prepared to get into an argument, because to me, every time people argue with me, or not every time, I need to stop using absolutes, but when in the past, when people would argue with me because I was enforcing my own boundary, they left. They were like, I don't got to put up with this, and they left. Or I left, or I walked away, because I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is exhausting. Why am I doing this? And then for me, at that time, I was like, I'm even doing this for someone who's not even worth doing this pain for, worth going this through this fucking spiritual growth for. They're not worth this. That's not the people that I have now in my life. The people that are in my life, the energies that are around me, the energies that I'm connected to, they it's one of those things that, no, they're ingrained now. Like, it's like I can't, not that I'm like, oh my god, I'm obsessed and it's trauma and attachment. No, it's not like that. It's more like they help the ship run. They help the ship run. They are co-captains on this ship. Like, it's like on this aircraft carrier that I'm building, like Noah's Ark and shit. They're the co-captains. They're helping me in the engine room. It's like they're actually helping move shit. The other people weren't. And I can literally feel forward movement with these people and these energies and spirits and energies that I'm connected to. I can feel it. So it's like, shit, what do I do now? Like what I told you, I am learning this the same way that you are. I am not arrived. And honestly, I feel like if I arrived, I would be transitioning, and I have not arrived. I believe I went from, like, it's funny because those that do tarot, right? I'll probably do this for another video. Those that do tarot, I feel like I'm going through the major arcanas. I feel that's what I feel is happening to me right now. Like I'm going through each major arcana and I'm at a specific one right now, which is funny because I'm wearing yellow and the one that I'm on right now is the sun. And it's like, I think that's why I'm on here, actually not polished like I normally am, giving you information with my fancy glasses on. I'm sitting here after I cried for about 2 hours, maybe this exaggerating, about 2 hours, over not the argument, but what wound it touched. What dust did it kick up? That's what I was unpacking, and that's what I was grieving, and I was counseling the 7-year-old self that's like, oh fuck, we lost another good friend. What the fuck? And I'm like, no, no, it was just an argument. It was just an argument. It wasn't life changing where you guys will stop talking, you know, even give each other space. And I had to like talk to myself and be like, you give each other space, you let that person do what they do. Don't chase them. They shouldn't chase you. Just drop it. Just drop it where it is. You know where your holes are. Hopefully they're doing the work, but whether they're doing the work or not, that has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with you. Your only job, my only job, is to do my work, is to focus on my camp and see where in my Merkaba, shit is not right. Do you understand? I can't focus on them because I couldn't change it even if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to, I can't change it. And it's like, even if I could, I wouldn't, because then they wouldn't learn how to do it for themselves. And then it would be another bag on my back, and it's great. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm ill prepared. I am ill prepared to have a physical connection. I am ill prepared to I am getting prepared though, because the fact that I know I'm ill prepared is the start of the ball game. I know that I know how to argue fairly. I know how to make sure if I'm in an argument that I don't say things that I really don't mean because it's hurtful and it's rude. I've learned to pull punches because I don't want to hurt them. I just want them to understand. And there shouldn't be any, actually, I just understood right now. See, I told you I'm still unpacking it. There should be no punches. There should be no punches. There should only be discussions. And if you feel that you're pulling punches, that means you're in a fight. Does that make sense? And I just realized, this is what I look like when I get an epiphany. Oh my God, that is like real talk. Like, I didn't realize that every time I get it into a disagreement, it's like ding ding. It's like, let's get ready. It goes into, all right, let me show you what people have been talking about when it comes to me. Let me show you. Let me show you, and that's not good. That's not good. This is what my face looks like when I get epiphany. I told you I'd be sitting and talking and talking and thinking and sitting. This is what I'm talking about when I say those things. You saw it firsthand. But like, I just saw the movie and I was like, oh shit. If I'm in uh if I'm pulling punches in a discussion, that means that I'm in an argument. That is insane. No. If I'm pulling punches in an argument, that means I'm in a fight. It's like it's a fight, and I'm like, that's not good. So now I have to come up with what to do once I get into this mode. Once I get into this mode, what do I do to make sure that we don't? Does that make sense? And it's just like what I'm questioning. This is my process, people. This is my process. Is it the fact that I feel that the other person did this first? And I'm from New York. Square up. I'm from New York. You can't. And I grew up in the 90s. You cannot be like this to me and expect me to be like, what are you doing? Like, you understand? I'm like, oh, what are we doing? Like, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? I got to protect my face. You understand? I got to protect my heart. What are we doing? What are we doing? And it's just like, I don't know. And that's something I have. Oh, we'll do muscle test. It's always me, because like Abraham Hicks says, no one can put anything in your pie. So it's always me. It's always, you know, even if the person did this first, I have to be like a Shaolin monk that's just like, let's see where this is going. Nope, that we're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing this. Nope, we're not doing that. Relax. You understand? That's where I need to get to. I need to get to the point where how you behave doesn't change my character. It doesn't change what happens to me. And the way I do that is by getting out all the emotions and curses and spells and programs and all the other shit that was put in there. I got to get that out so there's nothing for their shit to trigger or hit. There's nothing that's going to get me to jump and flinch and be ready for battle and stuff like that. And I realized just now with you that that's what it is, because I didn't realize that if I have my fists up and I'm pulling punches, that means I believe I'm in a fight. So I need to ask myself, Keisha, are you pulling punches? And or is your guard up? And I'm like, if that's the case, then I know this conversation has to come down. This conversation has to go down, because it's like, and okay, we have something in our family that we call tricksters. We learned it from our Rebecca. I love my Rebecca. We learned it from Rebecca. And it's what I've learned it's us, our brain giving shadow fear or shadow energy. And you got to clear it. It's something that comes up that you got to clear, because it's like static that happens, right? I call it tricksters. So what happens in an argument, just picture this with me for a second, right? Because I'm always doing something crazy. So just picture it, right? You're sitting here. This is you. This is your person. This is whatever person, kid, husband, wife, boyfriend, boss, dog, doesn't matter. Works for everybody. So you're sitting here. They're sitting here, right? What's happened, we're going to take you, right? When I say tricksters, what you have is like this, right? I'm the trickster. So this is you. So the person is arguing with you, or, at least trying to convey how they feel. Did she just yell at you? Remember when your mama used to yell at you, and you're sitting there going, yeah, my mama did yell at me. Just like that. You understand? And then another one pops up. Fear pops up and goes, what if they're trying to control you? And then you're like, yeah, I've always been trying. They people be always trying to control me. Those are tricksters. Those are tricksters. And what happens, that's what we call them. It's old phantom programming that's still running. And it tricks you into believing certain things that really aren't true. Like, everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. That's a trickster talking to you. You understand? And what you do is you muscle test, and you find out if it's a trickster. And if it's a trickster, you fucking clear it. And my thing is, what I started to do was I started to use my app to find what it is. Because before, I used to just clear it. I used to just clear it, get rid of it. But I noticed that I wasn't learning anything for by doing it that way. So what I did was I started to actually find it on my charts and be like, okay, what is this? Like how do I find it, and how do I clear it? What is it? Where is it? Because the funny thing is, just because you hear the trickster in your ear or in your head doesn't mean that's where it is. It could be in your chest, it could be in your throat, it could be in your eyes, it could be anywhere. So that's what I started to learn about that. But I'm going to keep unpacking. You might see me again, but I know this helped. I talk a lot about my app. I do have permission to teach you guys how to clear, but you have to know how to muscle test. So please, please, please practice muscle testing. We are working on getting YouTube classes up on muscle testing and clearing. So we're working on that. So just know, I love you guys. Stay up, stay blessed. Deuces, and I'm out.